What's up guys, welcome back to our promising video course. If you remember, in the previous video we have learned how to make a simple basic response to our client. Uh, let's say now we want to we want to request some information from the client. So it's a basic requirement in all applications. We have fields, we have forms that the client sends to the application server so that we can handle and process the information and give the response. So open the Eclipse. Here's the example we have finished in the previous video. So we will modify it to handle our new case of requesting the information from the client. So if you remember, here's our main service method that will handle all our requests and responses. So it's a override from the base class called HTTP servlet. These two parameters we receive from the Tomcat web server, the request and response. So we will use these guys to request the data the client sends to us and make a response to them. So we want to create now some basic HTML form that has some fields where client could input some data, and we can do it in two ways. The first one is we can print some HTML form in the servlet itself, so that it looks like let's say we have here hello Java string in response output, and we can make it copy a lot more and print here the HTML tag and closing HTML tag, yeah. And in the middle we can create some content and make a response, and for example that would be our form. But that's a very inconvenient way, and here's code becomes difficult to read and really messy. For that purposes, the Java community created some beautiful things like GSP pages, that's Java server pages. And if you come from the PHP world, you probably remember how the PHP handled pages. It basically had the one PHP file in which which contains the HTML code plus included the PHP scriptlets, and GSP pages are very similar to the PHP, probably except some internal processing things. I do not remember how PHP compiles or precompiles or whatever it does with the files. In the Java world, the GSP pages are translated to the servlets anyway, and then servlets are compiled and request or response the data to the client. So that by using the GSP pages, we tell the servlet containers that we want to see that page with that code included, and it translates the GSP to our servlet, so that we do not have to do these messy output things with our output stream, but we will use this current servlet to handle and process the data we request from the client, and we will use it also like an model view controller. If you know, it is a most popular way to handle the pages and flows. That is a well spread pattern. So okay, let's do the things. Go to our web content folder. This, if you remember, this is a public folder, and all stuff in here are public except these two secure folders. So here we create new GSP page, type in GSP, and we will see the GSP file. Click that and give the name. Let's name it default like an index GSP. Click next. Choose the template. We will use the XHTML, and that's this one. Click the finish, and now we have a new GSP page included in our public folder. So here's some stuff included by the Eclipse. Let's go to the body and just in a simple old HTML create some web form. Let's say we want to create the form. Choose the form method and change it to post. And then we want to create two new fields. Let's say that's a first name and last name. And give it the name. First name. Do the same thing for the last name. And don't forget to create the submit button. Let's give it some label. Let's test our initial GSP page. Let's try run it on the server and let's see what happens. Okay, here we have our GSP page with the two fields and submit button. So far so good. I think we should create it as the table, so let's do extra work and just make it more beautiful. So table, we have 3 lines here. And let's make 2 columns with the label in first one and our input field in the second column. So first one and oh. This is just a merge two columns in one for one submit button. Okay, let's try our modification and see how it looks now in our browser. And looks much nicer. Let's add our labels. Refresh the page. Yeah, that's cool. We now have the form where a client can input some data and send to our server. So here we have a by now action is empty. So we wanna reference our servlet in here. So we just let's try input basically our servlet example name to which we want to send our requested data. Let's type in servlet example. Now if we will submit our form, we will be send it to the servlet, and right now servlet has no code for our requested data, so it will just print out hello Java. Let's see if it works like I think. No. No. Yeah, you see, yeah. Go back and let's try now to request our data from the request object sent by our servlet container. So to do that, we reference the request object. Let's say we want to create new strings. First name, and here we choose get parameter and type in the name of our parameter like we typed in here. Do the second string variable. And let's try now output them basically from the servlet itself. To do that, we just substitute this string to this one. Let's care of some formatting here. I think that should be fine. Save our servlet and let's try how it works now. Let's put here first name and last name. Click submit, and you see the servlet outputs our inputted data in those fields. Okay, we will continue modifying this example in the next video, so join us in the next video.